This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked! I am Ray Taylor. I clearly don't have a regular job. I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said, all right, to counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself, I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about? And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast. I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off in UFC?
Whoa!
Hey, put your fucking hat on.
I saw myself. I was like, wait a minute. I don't want my bald head. I don't want people to think I carry tiki torches. So we're doing Fight Talk, people. UFC is back. UFC is back, and so are we, with fucking Fight Talk. And the loser, in the very rare case, don't go back and rewatch previous episodes. Just watch from now on. Very rare. It's weird having the hat on my head. I've never it felt so weird.
I very rare lose fight.
Yeah, so it's been a huge long break. There is, thankfully for MMA fans, there has been the Contender Series, which has been a lot of fun. We got an EBI in there. We got Conor McGregor shit that was whatever. Glad it's done. We're back to the good old UFC. Starting off easy. Yeah. Not coming out like a pay-per-view right away.
No, we're not coming out swinging. We just baby steps.
I didn't notice any, like, all the MMA shows that, talk about. None of them really talked about this card at all. It was all recap from McGregor, Conor shit.
Well, wasn't this all Fight Pass?
That's the thing. Like, they were so down on the card, but I don't even think they realized that it was a Fight Pass card. It's like, what are you expecting a Fight Pass card to be? It's like, it was the most insane. It's like, everybody's like, and it's such a weak card. It's like, I can't believe it's like so weak. It's like, come on, it's a Fight Pass card. Like, they have, like, decent, like, they'd be headliners on a pay-per-view.
And it ended up being
a
fun card.
It was nice to get back to MMA. So what we're talking about is UFC Fight Night this past Saturday, today actually. First time we're actually recording day of. They were on early. Saturday, September 2nd, 2017. Alexander Volkov versus Stefan Skyscraper Struve.
Scaper?
Yeah. I should have just stuck with the name. And it was on Fight Pass from Rotterdam, Netherlands. It was an early card. Started, I don't know what time it started, but I was like, I'm not in any hurry. Just watch it later.
Started like 10
Buzz
this morning.
through the fucking filler shit. Get it done. Talk about it. But yeah, kind of a fun fight. So if you have Fight Pass, you can watch it at any time. Let's start off with the Fight Pass early prelims.
Oh, we could
actually. There's. Well, yeah.
Did we?
Oh,
did
yeah.
we
I guess we could show the.
We
fucking
get a nice shot of this
here.
before
The reason why I'm wearing the hat is right here on the card. If you're watching the video,
a few of these fights changed. And there was one added.
Yeah, there was one we weren't sure of what was going to be put on the card. Two of them were late replacements, and then there was this fight was a complete extra fight.
Just extra.
Which is nice. Maybe they booked it just in case the Renault fight fell through. But let's start off with the first fight. T-Balt Guti versus Andrew Holbrook. Holbrook really wasn't able to do a whole lot in this.
He got in a couple good shots.
He didn't look bad, but it just looked like he couldn't land and he was eating shit.
Guti just turned it on at the end of the first round and took him out.
Yeah.
It was quick. Mm-hmm. It was but it wasn't that exciting of a fight even with a knockout.
It was just I think it was just on the ground and he just stopped it.
Yeah.
He was like getting hammer fists or whatever. But yeah, nice way to start though.
Yeah.
First round finish. Whether you're watching it post or live, like the nice thing about watching Fight Pass cards, right on to the next fucking fight. No commercials needed.
Nope.
No schedule to keep. You can start you can end it as soon as possible. We don't give a fuck. It's just a smaller video on our server.
No shitty music on a loop.
Yeah, yeah. No fucking like the Conor McGregor Mayweather thing where it's just like tons of just nothing. Not even filler.
Yeah.
But yeah. So even fast forwarding through these fights, it was just like, not a whole lot of scrolling happening. So we have the first of two Bojans coming on. Bohan Mihailovic versus Abdul Karim Edilov.
Yeah. And I guess Edilov was signed by the UFC like 2 years ago, but popped for steroids or something, so he was out for the two before he even got his fight.
What is this, heavyweight?
No, it's light heavyweight.
Jesus.
And
Mihailovic could cut down for sure. He's a thick dude.
His first fight was at heavyweight.
For
he
sure.
cut down to
it's
205.
Kind of the same thing with like Cormier.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Cormier's a wide dude like that too, but he's still pretty flabby in the. I mean, I guess the best he looked was against John Jones, but still. Anyway, he didn't have much for him.
This was an ass whooping.
Yeah, it was.
This was this other dude taking BoJack Horseman down and just punching the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then he made it through the first round, which was a feat unto itself.
I mean, he's tough.
He's tough.
That's the thing. It's like a lot of these guys from
but
like
150 total strikes to 7.
Yeah. It's pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
Pretty one-sided.
Yeah, bro.
Finished halfway through the second round.
It's the Russian Amish
So
killer.
Edilov wins that. So now we're tied, both off of our picks.
No,
I mean we're off our. We haven't gotten our picks. Is what I meant.
That was the first fight on here.
Right.
So we're not tied yet.
So that was the first official fight that we chose. Yeah. Zabit Magomedsharapov versus Mike Santiago,
who gets a black and white picture because he was another late replacement. This was supposed to be Zabit versus Nick Hine.
Yeah.
And I had picked Hine.
Yeah.
And
Zabit looked. He looked. His style was fun to watch. I mean, he fucking did the.
He did the Showtime kick off the fence. I mean, it missed, but he was.
But he was throwing
a
lot of
kicking
crazy
at
shit.
the back of the head too. That would have been a great knockout. Just a random fucking kadoosh to the back of the head.
Well, it would have been another Pettis thing.
Yeah.
And Pettis hasn't looked like Pettis since then.
Didn't knock out Henderson with that kick.
I mean,
everyone
caught him
forgets
at the end.
that.
Yeah, he caught him at the end of the foot.
Like he still made it through the
all
rest
you need
of that
for
round.
the highlight is Ben Henderson just hitting the ground. Cut to next highlight.
Hey, that's what it is every time too.
But that round also ended not shortly after that, right?
It was
a little round scrambled and then burn.
Good 30 seconds still left.
Third round.
Yeah.
Fifth round. It was a title because he lost his belt.
That was their first 5-round, maybe. No, that was a 5-rounder.
That was
the
WEC.
very last WEC fight ever.
But that's Ben lost his belt right before coming over to the UFC, which was hilarious. Anyway, so Zabit looked great.
Yeah.
Easy win. I'm pretty dominant win in this fight, but he has like a flashy style. What weight is this at? This is
145. He's real tall, 145.
Yeah.
6'1".
Who's there's somebody else. I wonder what that O'Malley kid is. He's probably like 115 or 125 or something like that.
Oh,
that new kid coming in.
The kid with the fro, kind of. The white kid with the
fro.
Because
he's kind of got that. Not as much. This guy's a little bit more Yair Rodriguez, where the other guy's more Conor McGregor, kind of like on his feet, kind of loose with his punches. Where this guy's like flipping around, throwing kickies, crazy
spinning
shit.
kickies.
Yeah,
spinning.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and pretty one-sided.
Super
dominant.
composed in the octagon too. Like even when he was doing all this crazy shit.
He got hit to the body at some point.
He got
hurt
body
at some point, and it like kind of slowed him down a little bit. But yeah, he was able to get the submission. God, I forget what the submission was. A rear naked.
Rear naked, yeah.
All right, so moving on to
we're both wrong with our first picks. My
That's
first pick didn't even show up.
Yeah. So next fight up is Francimar Barroso versus Alexander Rakic. And I chose Barroso on this.
Yes.
And he looked like he didn't look. He just wasn't able to do shit.
He just wasn't getting off at all.
Yeah.
And Rakic was.
Rakic's got a really good move. I mean, Barroso was able to. I think he won one of the rounds. He was able to get control and controlled most of it or ended it with a good control. But on his feet, he didn't really have anything for him.
He didn't win any of the rounds. It was 30-27 across the board. But yeah, I mean, one round he didn't look the suck as much.
He may have been able to. I mean, with judges, you never know.
Yeah.
Like, you have to almost turn your you have to become retarded slightly to almost sync up mentally with what the judges are thinking sometimes. But good win for Rakic.
Yeah, I believe that was his first fight in the UFC too. So
yeah,
and
definitely
beating
good.
a guy like Barroso.
Sure. I mean, it wasn't like Barroso really put it to him in any way. So it was a pretty easy fight for the most part. Because even when Barroso got him down, it wasn't like they weren't like great. He was like his shots were horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So right now, I'm up 2-1, and we still haven't made a right decision.
Yeah. Yeah. But to remind people, we're dealing with what we were making picks, shadow people. So almost half the card was shadow people.
And people, just never,
so it's like,
never been in the UFC before.
Yeah. So, and like late replacements, but whatever.
Guys who have had one fight once.
Yeah. So Hustam Khabilov versus Desmond Green.
This was a fun fight.
Yes, it was. I thought it was a really, and this was I thought this was a split decision. Did it end up being unanimous?
It was unanimous, but
I thought Green for sure won one of those rounds.
Yeah, I did too. That's why I called bullshit on the 30-27.
Yeah.
But I did think that Khabilov should have won.
Yeah. He's one. I mean, I think they were talking him up a little bit too much. The commentary during the fight, considering what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, but they both look great. It was a good fight. Khabilov comes away with the victory.
Yeah, it was back and forth for a minute.
Yeah.
Like Green was getting off on him, but just not enough.
Yeah, he just lost. He lost 2 of the 3 rounds.
But yeah, I picked Khabilov on that, so now I'm up 3-1.
Yeah,
things are looking good.
Coming up to Michael Prazeres versus Mads Burnell. Prazeres came in 4 pounds
4 pounds over. And as a midget,
which he's a stocky fucking dude, so not that surprising. Really, I mean, I guess Tim Elliott's like a thin dude, and he hasn't, but he's tall. He's a big dude. Yeah, Prazeres ended up.
It was just domination. He kept taking Burnell down.
Yeah,
and
Burnell the grappling. It was a lot of grappling.
It was a lot, and a lot of
active grappling though,
but
not a lot of holding.
Neutralizing grappling. Where wasn't.
Well, Prazeres was trying to get to mount. But so on his way to mount, Burnell was like walking up a sand dune.
Yeah.
It's like take 3 steps forward, he just gets to side control. Burnell's able to get right back. So I mean, Burnell's clearly good off of his back and was able to avoid Prazeres, who's clearly just he'd never started to work until he got the back or the full mount.
Yeah, and
then he'd start to work. Which made it a complete grappling match, which was fine. It was, it was exciting. It wasn't a boring grappling match.
No,
it was stressful.
It was a very stressful.
But that's like,
is he gonna?
Because there's so many like Burnell would like have advantages, kind of.
Yeah.
Not as much as some of the other fights where there was a lot of grappling, but yeah, good fight. Prazeres ends up getting the
north-south
submission. Yeah. Which he was. I mean, that was just one of like. A few that I think he was working on that in the previous round or earlier in that round. He's finally able to get it a lot. I think it was at the end of the second he may have had it.
Yeah, I think he was in the north-south position.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
They
he never really went to anything.
He'd won another fight by north-south choke in the UFC. Good win on him.
For sure.
And for Burnell, good first showing, I guess.
Kind of makes sense, like for submission-wise, to have like. Having what's OSPs? I just love the weights.
The Von Flue choke.
Von Flue choke. Like to have some weird instead of like armbar rear naked choke. Those are kind of standard shit.
Cody McKenzie had the McKenzatine and
kind of, but like I mean, just legitimate shit like the north south choke. That's most people aren't getting finished with that. I mean, it happens every once in a while, but for that to be your thing, like the Von Flue choke. I mean, doesn't happen very often, but there's a guy that's pretty high level at it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like just kind of the standard ones almost. I mean, I guess like God, what's the guy from Arizona that I don't like? Kind of got like a Frankenstein head.
I know who you're talking about.
He has the like Japanese necktie or something like that.
The Peruvian
necktie. But that one's like getting to that position's kind of tricky. But he's finished people. Anyway, so Brazeris wins it, which I didn't think he was gonna win that.
So now it's 3-2. I'm still up.
All right, so moving on to Marbek Tasimov versus Felipe Silva.
This was a real fun fight too.
Who had who in this?
I picked Tasimov.
And this was both people were okay. Yeah. So he's probably Dagestani, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Versus Silva,
who is Brazilian.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this was like a super. I mean, it was, I guess, competitive up until the like just huge uppercut knockout.
Yeah.
You know,
Silva died in the ring a little bit.
That was good. Yeah, he was rushing in. Tasimov was up against the fence, landed a huge. I didn't even see it in the first. Just live, I had to wait for the replay.
Just crumpled.
Oh yeah, and Silva just face planted into the little padding.
Big numbers in this fight.
Yeah. Super quick fight. Tasimov wins it. Knockout.
That's 4-2 me.
That's what a knockout is, not how the Mayweather-McGregor fight ended, which people seem to just call it a knockout.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's like, man, you can win rounds without throwing punches, and you can knock somebody out when they're just tired. So moving on to the feature bout for the Fight Pass early prelims, Darren Till versus Bohan Velikovic.
Number 2 Bohan.
Yeah. And I think maybe the last round, did he have a little bit? He seemed to be getting his ass kicked pretty much.
Yeah, he was
consistently throughout the whole fight.
Getting pieced. The first round where he took that elbow.
Yeah.
And it just opened up the side of his head.
Till landed some fucking exciting to watch him destroy my guy.
And so weirdly relaxed, like just so smooth. But I will say, Bojan tore Till's leg the fuck up. Like, he's gonna be limping for a good long while.
That's what he had.
Because his fucking...
I think one of the rounds, he was really doing a lot with that, and then, like, the last round, he didn't even throw one leg kick. I think he was trying to go to the body, but, like, Bojan just completely left the leg kick in that third round.
But yeah, good win on Till. Till looked great. This was another fun fight, though, because Till dropped him again in the third. Yeah. You just can't this kid has no quit in him.
No, yeah, he was tough for sure.
I mean, trying to play it up to the crowd the whole time. And
that was annoying because he was doing that every fucking round, and the majority of it was the first round when he's getting pieced the fuck up.
The first round,
like, you cannot be losing.
He's like trying to bring everyone on because he survived.
There was a time while he was doing that, Till could have just ran up on him and fucking, because he was not paying attention at all.
Yeah, he turned to the crowd and went like this.
Stupid.
Fucking head kicked
I
him.
think he was delirious from getting pieced up because he was getting hit in that first round.
That elbow alone.
Oh yeah.
Because he dropped like a sack of rocks too, and somehow fucking like the next punch, Till should have just let him get up.
Yeah,
but like he kind of locked up for a minute, and he weathered it. Yeah. Good on him, but
good win for Till.
Yeah,
excited to see him come back.
So now it's 6-2 or 5-2.
So moving on to the main card. Starting off with Leon Edwards versus Brian Bam Bam Barberina. The dad bod that just won't quit. Leon, I thought, won the first round.
Yes.
Then Barberina, I thought, came back in the second.
Yes.
And then
the third round
Edwards,
was a coin flip, but I wasn't.
Closer.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever. Edwards probably did a little more. But
he had the most control by far, so I think that's kind of where
he did take him down.
I mean, he had his back, he had the body triangle, he had him in dominant positions trying to get the rear naked choke, I think that first round he almost had him in a rear naked choke.
Barberena dropped him in the second round.
But yeah, Barberena had a lot of. He was just way better on the feet, and he towards the third, Edwards was getting gassed where Barberena was still coming at him.
I don't know. This could have went the other way, but
yeah, close decision. It was unanimous
and I
though.
picked
But
Barberena,
yeah.
and so that's 5-3.
Yeah. Moving on to a fight that we didn't know if it was going to happen or not. Marion Renault versus Talita Bernardo, replacing the Jermaine Durandamy.
Someone changed her because her nickname's the Iron Lady.
Right.
So someone got on her Wikipedia and changed it to the I Run Lady.
Oh, that's funny.
Because she runs from fights and runs from Cyborg. And
there's a lot of fighters that have been running from fights.
Yeah.
Including a fight we're going to
But I also think that if she's probably injured, whatever.
I think if
she would have fucked Marion Renault up.
For sure. After watching, because Talita coming in short notice, first fight in the UFC, I think, too.
She looks pretty good.
She still is a shadow person.
Yeah.
This is a rare occurrence during
You
our
can't even get a
recap.
picture after.
Yeah. They're probably like, you weren't that good, so we'll see you later.
They got
Go
into
over to
a lot of
Invicta.
strange grappling positions.
Yeah, the first round, Bernardo
controlled the ground for the most of it.
She won the first
round.
But then completely gassed, and all of her stand-up was slow motion compared to Renault, who had
Still got
fast striking.
a good takedown in the second round, too.
Yeah, she was still able to get takedowns.
Didn't do much with the second round. She it definitely lost, so it was a 1-1 for me.
And Renault, when Renault was dominant, Bernardo kept reversing her, especially that third round.
A lazy takedown out of nowhere, it was just the one time it looked like she drunken passed out and took her down, bleh.
That's so Renault. It's clearly should have been able to win. She was dominating the fuck out of the stand-up.
Now, she was training for a fighter who does only stand-up, so maybe that her camp was a little off.
True, I guess she didn't go for any takedowns, so she was trying to stand up. So, she didn't train for... She wasn't expecting takedowns, so why train?
She's fighting a fighter that's just a stand-up fighter. And then she's going to a girl who's all ground game.
Maybe you should just work on takedown defense in general.
That
seems like just a general good thing.
I agree.
Because even strikers, a lot of the times, like there'll be wrestler or jiu-jitsu, and it's a boring striking fight. Because neither of them wants to go to the ground because they know it's very dangerous for both of them.
Yes.
And then, they want to work their punchies. And then same thing with strikers. I've seen so many this is either it's just hand touches and neither of them engage on the feet, or it's a takedown thing and it's just neither of them really know jiu-jitsu very well, so it's not the most exciting ground game.
I figured this was going to go to a decision, but right at the end, Renault just turned it up and Bernardo just turtled up.
Yeah.
Like she actively gave up at one point.
Well, she was exhausted
at the
beginning of the second round.
Renault wasn't even on her.
Yeah.
And she just stayed in the turtle position.
Well,
I was like, you gotta...
Considering...
And then she just got to her back and just started...
Yeah. Considering she wasn't really winning, she probably knew she lost that fight, but still, good on her for coming in, fighting,
super late.
Renault, who's fucking 40, fought a shitload of
40.
Fights.
Good, but hey,
so it's think
about that though. She's a 40-year-old lady,
sure,
beating the shit out of a fucking 20-some-year-old girl.
Yeah, but that's where experience can beat youth, Although she was the more athletic of the two, also. But yeah, good win for Renault against an opponent that there shouldn't have been a reason for her to lose to.
Look, the co-main's a shadow guy too.
Yeah. Well, I think it was just for the location they wanted to change the co-main because it was supposed to be Jermaine, who's hometown, basically,
and then but CR's living and training out of Amsterdam now too.
Yeah, so it makes sense especially versus a to be determined nobody person.
Yeah.
So Sayar Bahadazara versus Rob Wilkinson
was originally supposed to be a Zaitar.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You picked Bahadrazara anyway, so wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
And he
may have.
And he knocked out Rob Wilkinson.
Yeah.
And it was whatever fight. Like,
it was good, man.
It was all right.
Well, your guy was getting his ass kicked.
No,
that's why.
No, I can appreciate my guy getting his ass kicked.
First off, Bahadrazada, he's fighting over his weight class.
Yeah,
so he looked tiny.
With a belly.
Had a belly, yeah. So it's like versus, Wilkinson, who wasn't looking horrible, but when Bahadrazada lands,
Wilkinson's first
hard.
fight ever in the UFC versus a seasoned vet. And
he didn't look horrible.
No, he didn't look horrible, but he should have used his range better. And he gassed out pretty early.
Sure. Well, he was getting hit a lot in the head. So, hard, clean shots to the head.
Yeah.
So gas tank, not surprised. But yeah.
I've seen Bahadrazara look better, and I've never seen Wilkinson before.
Well,
so
I'm sure at his normal weight class, he's
but I guess
look
Ciara
better.
was out for a year and a half.
Yeah. That's probably why he's fighting at the weight. Potentially. All right.
It was whatever. But yeah, that gives you a win.
I enjoyed that fight more than I enjoyed the main event.
So that puts us. I had already won.
Makes you win, yeah. I
Because
had
you
to
won
win
that
out
one,
to win.
But that was before the last fight.
Yeah. So the main event: Alexander Volkov versus Stefan Struve. Struve was landing some hard punches, but Volkov just had speed over him.
This was a good fight.
Yeah.
Just in that
it's interesting to watch.
Struve was landing some really good shots. Mm-hmm. Hit that uppercut a few times.
Yep. Overhand.
Hit the overhand. The flying knees that he kept doing.
It's like 3 of them.
Well, fucked his Volkov's nose and fucking cheekbone up. Had a giant face pussy.
Yeah, hit him to the chest a couple
times.
And that was
at the end of the first round.
Yeah.
And so he was just fighting through that. But slowly you could see Volkov just picking his spots on Struve.
Well,
and
Struve slowed down, Volkov stayed sharp, and Volkov was starting to able to land, and then Struve would start covering, blocking a lot of it.
But then Volkov
towards
started
the end,
picking his spots.
Struve wasn't able to. He was blocking good at the beginning, but towards the end of the round, he's not defending as well. He's also not getting off. He's not countering, so Volkov's just coming right in. Struve. It's amazing to watch a giant like him throw fucking a jumping knee.
Yeah.
But
very
if
agile.
he just learned...
he was light on his feet during the fight.
Goes and trains with John Jones or somebody that knows how to use distance like a motherfucker, then he would be untouchable. He's horrible at using distance. Horrible. He has a specific range. If you're in too close, grappling, he's not going to be landing a lot. Just before
he
that,
doesn't use his length
but
nearly where it should be.
Not at all, because people can come.
His leg. Volkov just
tall as fuck.
Walked right in though.
There's midgets that come up and land on
Pat
Struve.
Barry.
Yeah, they land on Struve.
But
Struve is no joke. One of the few people to beat the current champion.
Yeah, but
so there is that.
It's also been knocked out by just fat short people.
Sure. Yeah, but fat short people have knocked out a shitload of people. I guess people just have gotten knocked out. In heavyweight division, it's pretty rare if you haven't been knocked out, considering it's a lot of old people that have been around for fucking ever.
And the power everyone possesses.
Yeah. Well, that multiplied with their old heads, that have been getting knocked out their whole career, or get punched anyway. So it was all right. It was okay. I enjoyed some of the other fights more on the card. But I'm glad that fight happened. I still think Struve is, he's still... how old is he?
29.
He's still young. Yeah, so he's fine. And heavyweight's heavyweight. You're going to lose some, you're going to win some. I just think he needs to fucking learn how to use range better.
Probably.
Yeah. That's his... Then, if he has a good jab, he uses that front kick, just a couple things. Keep people away. Nobody's going to touch you.
He was trying to use the eye poke, get the fuck away from me, and he landed about 3 or 4 of those. So.
Yeah. It's weird that this was the new rules were
new
in
rules
place.
3 eye pokes, even though Volkov and him
4 eye pokes total.
Yeah.
Both poked each other the last time, and then Struve was able to get him 2 times earlier.
2 times before, and nothing.
And Mark Goddard, not a joke fucking ref, but, pussy, I guess it's just a warning all the time. I was saying before the rule change, fouls should be treated like fouls in every sport. It's not like you step out of bounds, and it's like, it's okay next time.
If I accidentally poke you in the eye in basketball...
Not even that. I'm just
fucking
talking
fouled
about
you.
I'm talking about the sport. Fouls in the sport.
Yeah.
You know? Like you foul somebody in basketball, they get 2 free shots. Automatic. It's not like next time you foul them, they're going to take 2 free shots. That's not how it works. There's automatic point potential. Automatic. Apparently, boxing is a little bit more ridiculous, but, let's go with the eye pokes.
No holding.
That's one thing too,
No
especially
holding.
when it's like versus a guy who's gonna win on the ground.
Yeah.
And the 2 times he has a chance, Tyron Woodley, you grab the fence. But whatever. This was a highlight fight compared to the last Woodley fight. All right, so those were our recap. That was our recap for the UFC Fight Night. It was this Saturday, September 2nd, from Rotterdam, Netherlands. Overall fun card. If you're looking for something to watch on Fight Pass, I would not steer you away unless you wanted to watch Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, which have all been great cards. Before we make our picks for the next fight coming up next Saturday, go over to our Patreon page over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Donate $1 a month, $12 a year. Helps us out. That's all I'm asking. You can donate more if you want to get some perks, but $1 is all I'm asking for over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. So now moving on to the next UFC fight, pay-per-view, UFC 215, Saturday, September 9th, 2017, Johnson versus Borg. From Edmonton, Canada. Headlined by Demetrius Johnson and Ray Borg. Demetrius, if he wins this fight, that he's one of the fighters that's very specific about fighters he doesn't want to fight, even though they might be competition. I want to fight the next guy in line that's, I guess the next guy in the division that I haven't beat yet. Substantially less of a threat, I think. But whatever.
You pick first.
Okay. So starting off with UFC Fight Pass. So how this works, Keith and I take turns. Since I lost, he chooses who picks first. We take turns picking, so we don't always get what we want. So it makes it interesting, just in case anybody else wants to play at home. So starting off, did I hit the right fighter? Adriano Martins versus Kajan Johnson from Canada. I pick first, you said? Jesus Christ, these guys have a lot of fights. I think it'd be Cajun. Cajun? That
because
works.
His nickname's Ragin.
Makes sense. Ragin' Cajun Johnson. I'll go with hometown guy. I'll go with the Ragin' Cajun. Why not? Why not? Go crazy. First fight of the card? Like I fucking know. At least they have pictures. I remember that bear tattoo. Just don't remember how well he fought with the bear tattoo.
Can I get some?
Yeah. So moving on to the next one.
Here's some shadow.
Yeah, buddy. Luis Enrique versus Arjan Bueller. Bueller. Say Ferris.
Damn shadow people.
This is a heavyweight fight. Enrique has some ups and downs.
Yeah, he's coming off
but
a
not
loss.
too bad. Only 3 losses versus undefeated. Bueller.
But who's been fighting probably fat guys on local circuits.
Or he could be some new fucking... he could be the next Francis Ngannou. He's like so close to a title. Seems like.
I'm going Henrique.
But all right, moving on to the next fight, the feature bout for the UFC Fight Pass early prelims. This one I know has a picture. Mitch Clark versus Alex White. The Spartan
Versus the Danger Zone.
Damn. 11-4 for Mitch. 11-3 for White. I wonder if he's related to Dana. Looks like a primarily submission kind of a guy here versus more of a well-rounded motherfucker. 155-pound range. Ranger.
One guy's a little taller,
Guy that
but
throws
has
hands,
shorter,
has better reach.
shorter reach.
Oh no, he has less reach. Doesn't matter because the other guy's. I'm gonna go with Daddy's boy, Alex White, Dana's little man, versus Clark A. All right, moving on to the FS1 prelims. With Gavin Tucker versus Rick Glenn, the gladiator, the anorexic the machinist gladiator.
That's because he's tall.
Versus the Newfoundland Terror.
He's got like a lot of inches of tall on this guy.
Well, compared to Zero, everybody's gigantic.
Well,
I guess the height.
I'm just saying height.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at their bodies, I would imagine he'd have to be taller.
5 inches of height.
He's got that, yeah. Man, Tucker's 10-0.
Glenn knocks people out.
Yeah. Wait, is this you?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm not choosing this one. Glenn's got that like kind of Matt Brown look to him, where he's just like, just strong, you know?
Like I might lose
like
some
tough
fights,
to beat,
but you don't put me away.
It's like it's not like I beat motherfuckers, man. I'm like one of the few people to have an exciting and victorious fight against Wonder Boy. I'm tough as shit, but that could just be looks could be deceiving.
But if I remember, Gavin Tucker looked fucking phenomenal in his debut in Newfoundland.
I mean, you could be right.
I'm going
you could be
Tucker.
very right. All right, I'm good with that. I am good with that. Moving on to the next fight in the FS1 prelims. First fight, female fight of the night. Sarah Morris versus Ashley Evans Smith. Rebel girl.
And this is you.
Versus Cheesecake. Man.
Cheesecake she's a cutie.
She looks sweet. Sweet and creamy.
Terrible record.
Well, it's female records aren't always that great.
4-3 versus 5-2.
I can pull up Beck Rollins' record. She's still fighting. Or who's the Hawaiian chick that just lost? Then she has
Caitlin
a losing
Kern.
record. Yeah, she was a 500 record, I think, going into that. And it was one of her best fights, though. So credit on that. I think I'm gonna go Ashley Evans Smith. It's kind of tough in the 135 because, like, even when we watched Amanda Nunes's early fights, compared to her now, like, there's a lot of growth happening for some of these female fighters.
Yeah, it's not,
and it's pretty like from one fight to the next, it could be completely different. Like Felice Herrig was on a downslide, and she's just killing bitches now, choking the shit out of them. For real though. But Cheesecake's a cutie.
Yeah,
she's like got that.
Girl Next
I'm
Door.
gonna tear your dick off eyes.
Yeah,
but Girl Next Door, which is like psycho. She'll tell you like every day that she's crazy. He's like, I don't care. Henry Cejudo versus Wilson Hayes. Two former.
Cejudo lost to Benavidez recently.
So was that after the show? That was his
after
last
the
fight?
Mighty Mouse, yeah.
Because they fought on the finale of
Yeah.
that show, that Mighty Mouse, and he
lost.
lost that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are his 2 losses.
2 losses in a row.
Versus Hayes, who
Who
just came off of. Did he just lose to Mighty
Lost to
Mouse?
Mighty Mouse.
Is this me? Oh, damn it!
And I'm going Cejudo.
Oh, perfect. I was just gonna make my pick, and I was like, nah. I think I got Hayes, just based on experience. Cejudo's great, but I don't know. He's. I mean, we'll see how much he's learned, because he shouldn't have fought for a belt. He's like so early, so fresh, It's still same. I mean, with everybody in the division.
Yeah, Hayes might just choke him out, but
yeah.
Hayes doesn't finish fights on the feet.
That's fine. He doesn't need to finish to win. So this is the feature bout for the FS1 prelims. Sarah McMahon versus Ketlin Vieira.
This is you.
This is me. I mean, Vieira looked gangbusters in her last fight, but I can't remember the chick she fought. So, I mean, it's McMahon all day.
You going with the McMahon?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And her giant biceps?
Yeah. She looked destructive. Nobody wants to fight her. So she has to fight Vieira. And whoever McMahon just fought, she just destroyed her. So, pretty easy fight. Pretty easy pick for me. I could be wrong, but I feel pretty confident with that one. So moving on to the main card for UFC 215. Starting off the pay-per-view with Stephanie. Jeremy Stevens. I was combining the first anyway. That's what I get when I read and tilt my head. The lanes merge. Jeremy Stevens versus Gilbert Melendez.
Gilbert.
First time back from his suspension. Down a weight class, I believe, right?
Yes.
Featherweight.
145.
145. Versus Jeremy Stevens. Did he just win? Just lose?
He just
lost to
lost.
Frank Yeager.
Yeah.
Frankie's no joke. Benavidez is Melendez. I mean, is I would imagine a bit older. He's been around for a long. They've both been around, and they both are like bangers too.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun fight.
I'm gonna go potential. This is like should be fight of the night potentially, but could be like grappling. You know, Melendez is out of the Diaz camp, and I don't know what he's training now that he's off the juice. I'll go Stevens.
It's not your pick.
God damn it! I go Melendez. Fuck.
Oh man, this is tough.
Yeah.
They're both just bangers.
Yeah.
They're the same height.
Sure.
Got a little reach on him, but
I mean, I don't know.
Lost
it's
a
tough for me
couple.
now that you know what my pick would be. It's like, listen, I mean, I don't care. I could be wrong if you go with Stevens, whatever. But for me, Melendez, new weight class, just coming back from a long layoff due to a substance he can't take anymore. So we don't know how he's going to perform off of that. So both of those two things. Everything else, they're pretty equal kind of fighters. Stevens has started working at a different. Is he working with Dwayne? He's working with a new striking coach, but it's only been like, I don't think this may be his second or third fight with the coach. So maybe his striking might be evolving into something different. That's why I would have gone with Stevens. For me. But Melendez is a banger, and who knows? You can just come out throwing.
There you go, Stevens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2-year layoff's a long time.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And when everything else is just as close.
Now it's my pick. Ilir Latifi versus Tyson Pedro. Latifi, did he win his? I know he got knocked out Bader. I think
knocked
was a
his
fight
ass out.
before, and then I think he won his last fight.
Probably.
Potentially? 'Cause he had to have had a fight. Seems like he's had a fight between then. But I think, man, I really want to go with Pedro. Young up-and-comer. A lot of, I mean, we've gotten some good guys out of Australia.
He's a submission guy.
Latifi
Is a
gasses.
bulldog.
Yeah, but he gets tired. But yeah, he hits hard. He's going to be hometown Australia to, I don't know what kind of a flight that is. They both seem like on the other side in a way, just north. I'm going with Tyson Pedro. He's probably the underdog in this fight. Maybe. I mean, he's lower ranked, 13. In, a division that not too shabby. We'll see if Pedro's an up-and-comer. All right, moving on to Neil Magny versus Rafael dos Anjos at 170. No longer at 155. One of the people to talk shit to Conor McGregor, even though when he had his opportunity to fight Conor, got injured, pulled out of the fight.
He's given up 10 fucking inches of reach. That's a lot of inches of reach.
Magny's a fucking long dude.
Yeah.
Long dude. I
Yeah.
mean, he's like, especially for his weight, like that's probably longer than some light heavyweights, I bet.
He's 6 inches
80
taller
inches.
and 10 inches more reach and another 7 inches longer
And a
legs.
bigger fighter overall, most likely.
I'm going
I mean,
Magny.
Magny's not cutting down to 155.
I mean,
Yeah, I'd probably go. And
Dos
Dos Anjos,
Anjos has a chance to just starch him, but
yeah, but it's what Dos Santos is coming in, like he's been very shaky. He's lost some, he's won some.
his
He's
last
at a
one
new
wasn't
weight.
that great. His
Yeah.
first showing.
So it's like it's very I'd for sure go with Magny on that one. But
10 inches of reach. Doesn't always
there's
mean
a lot
everything.
of but he tends to use it better than
10
some
inches.
guys, and he can fight everywhere, and he's pretty tough as shit. Jesus Christ! So the co-main event, hopefully it happens. Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko for the women's bantamweight championship belt. They have fought before. Nunes won it in a 3-round fight, was gassing in the 3rd round. Valentina won the 3rd round most likely.
Yes.
And everybody's like, I think she could have won a 5-round fight. However, Amanda Nunes has constantly been improving as a fighter. She's fought, she's had to train for championship fights, so she should be ready for 5 rounds as opposed to training for a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
But Shevchenko's a fucking monster everywhere. She fucking got the one move no female should lose to in the bantamweight division, especially if you fought in the Ronda Rousey era. You don't lose to an armbar if you fought in the Ronda Rousey era. You do not lose to armbar. Shevchenko pulled off an armbar against Pena, which Pena was up and coming. I think I picked her probably for that one, and lost. Shevchenko trains out here. Fuck, man. The first fight, for sure, Nunes. But now I don't know as much. It's tougher. I'm going Nunes.
Probably would have too.
We'll see how her cardio is, if it even gets there. Because either one could fucking... This is gonna be an exciting fight, I think. I mean, Shevchenko made Holly Holm fight exciting,
Yeah.
which is crazy. All right. So moving on to the main event of the night. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson versus Ray, the Taz-Mexican Devil Borg, for a fight at 125 flyweight. Is that 125?
Yeah.
Yes, 125. Demetrius Johnson, if he wins this, breaking Anderson Silva's record for most defenses of a title belt. However, Anderson Silva had a longer winning streak overall.
Because he did go up to light heavyweight.
That too, but he
fights.
also was on a huge run before he got the belt too. I forget. But anyway, against Ray Borg, who's just the only guy Demetrius Johnson hasn't beat at least once.
Yes.
In the division. So, and Ray Borg's looked okay.
Hey, he's been
Came in
fucking
weight.
people up.
Came in weight most of his fights.
Yeah.
It's funny how like the argument was like I can't trust him to make weight for TJ, but literally you're fighting a guy that's literally not made weight for that weight before. So it's, you know, like you can't like I understand you want to get this championship thing, but literally you're one of the fighters that's picking and choosing who they fight. Just to put that out there. Because there's a lot of people complaining that some fighters do that. Where this guy's pretty outspoken. Very outspoken about not wanting to fight anybody but Ray Borg.
And that's why I'm picking him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to fucking win.
Yeah, it should be a gimme. Although I'd love a fucking upset. That would be amazing.
Everyone loves an upset.
Yeah. Not that I don't like Johnson. It's just he's a very bland personality guy.
Smash that like button.
Anyway, so these are our picks for UFC 215. Starting off with Johnson, a different Johnson.
Yeah, and then I got Henrique.
I've got White.
I've got Tucker.
I got Smith.
I got Cejudo.
I got McMahon.
I got Stevens.
I got Pedro.
I got Magny.
I got Nunes.
And I got Johnson again.
All right. It's going to be hopefully a nice win for me, but overall seems like it should be good card. Some names that look fun.
It's been a while since you've had that hat on your side.
It has been a while since I've had this hat on my side. Thank you for saying that. I don't know what you were trying to say, but it has been a while since I've had it over here.
I meant
but it's
this
here.
trophy, but
well,
the
you said hat.
The hat did
it's
come
a very.
out. You're
listen,
wearing
man,
the hat right now.
Freudian
so.
slip. You know, you want to say the truth. But,
Go back in the archives, people.
Sure. You can do that at youtube.com/inspireddisorder. You can also go check out Keith on Twitter at KeithSpurlock1. I'm at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram. You can go to inspireddisorder.com to subscribe to everything by artwork, all of that nonsense, as well as go to patreon.com/inspireddisorder, patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Give us $1. It's $1 a month. That's all I'm asking. Unless you want perks, donate more, you get those perks. That's it, everybody. Our next episode, we're going to do another movie review of Goon 2. So if you haven't watched Goon 1, for sure watch that. And listen to our review of Goon 2. You don't necessarily need to watch it, but that's what we're reviewing next episode.
Later.
Peace.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.